Hey you guys, it's Ashley Chats. Welcome back to my channel. Please make sure you give the video a like, and if you are not already subscribed, please do so on your way in or out of the video. So let's get into today's topic, and that topic is emotional investments. So emotional investment happens when you focus emotional energy on something you find fulfilling and hope for happiness in return of that. And so it also means your feelings are attached to someone or something or a scenario, or the list goes on, right? And so emotional investing clouds your judgment, and it can lead you to act in ways that are counterproductive to your success or the things that you're trying to work on and accomplish in your life. And we all know too much of anything is never good. For instance, over investment of like emotional feelings and things like that. And so overinvestment equates to feeling drained and worn out. And if you're feeling drained or worn out with a person, a situation, a scenario, then it is quite possible that you have overly invested in that person or that scenario. So my question is, what are you overly invested in at this moment in your life? And that's a very serious question for you to stop and ponder on. What are you overly invested in at this moment in your life? And why, right? And there's a term that comes to mind, because y'all know I always got a term. And so that term is sunk cost fallacy, right? And so this term is basically when a person is reluctant to abandon a strategy or a course of action because they have invested into it heavily, right? And this is when, even when it is clear that the abandonment could like be more beneficial, right? To let something go would be a better benefit for you. Maybe you just still cannot. Okay. Which kind of plays into the term that I just shared. Right. And so, I have a perfect example, of that. And I remember when I first relocated here to, Texas, I work in the hair community, as a business owner, and I really try to connect in, what is the word I'm looking for, y'all? Network. I try to network with other people in the field, right? And so what I've noticed in a lot of scenarios like that, people either welcome you with open arms or they're opposed to it because they feel some type of threat of who you are, or maybe your talent or whatever, right? And I'm sure some of you can relate to that. And so I tried, y'all. Like I was joining groups, local groups and things like that to try to connect with people. I even volunteered to be an admin in like Facebook groups and things like that, y'all. And even with me doing all of that, like I still was constantly being, just kind of rejected, basically, in so many words, right? And I didn't want to leave these groups and these network connections because in the back of my mind, I'm a newbie, right? I'm a new person in the area. And so I have to force these connections, and I have to be networked and connected to these people, because how else am I going to get clients, right? And so I held on and I held on and I held on, y'all. And I was constantly like disrespected, talked about, like completely ignored, stuff like that. Like basically people didn't want to give me my props. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that at some point in their life, right? And you take it with a grain of salt. Like it comes with it. Like it's not surprising. You just roll with it, right? And so eventually, y'all, I got tired, and I finally was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm going to take a chance and just leave these groups alone, right? And find my own way of marketing my business and putting myself out there, right? So I left the groups alone, y'all. I kid y'all not. I believe it was stunting my growth, because while I was in those groups, I was getting clients, but I was kind of very steady. As soon as I left the group, y'all, no exaggeration, my clientele skyrocketed, y'all, so much so that I didn't even have to promote as heavy, or even say much, because people were like telling other people about me. Like they were finding stuff. Like I had put marketing on my vehicle. People were finding me in traffic at my kids' schools. Like literally my books were booming, y'all. But here's the ticket. This is the point that I want y'all to understand. It was because I finally realized that this situation or this scenario no longer works for me, and I need to move along. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I was talking about that term that I just talked about, because sometimes we'll hold on to something because we're so invested into it, right? We put so much into this strategy strategy, or we put so much into this course of action because we're so convinced that it's going to work, right? And then we realize that we're just bumping our head into the same wall because it no longer works. It no longer serves us. And that's exactly what was happening. And so finally, when I woke up, guess what? I was able to not only increase my clientele, but be relieved of stress and unnecessary drama and all type of disrespect, all for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And so I just wanted to throw that little example in there of what I'm talking about so y'all can get a better understanding of the term that I just shared with y'all. So in other words, overinvestment will have you attached to something, that is going down the drain and you just won't let it go. And so with emotional, investments and things, these are things that you have to stay aware of. Emotional attachments actually play a very significant role in our struggle to let go. And this is because the human psyche tends to hold on to what is familiar, what is comfortable and what is emotionally significant for us in our, in our lives. And so one of the primary reasons letting go is hard is the fact that, there's a fear of the unknown, right? And so the familiar, even if it no longer serves us, provides a sense of security and certainty, right? Like we know what to expect from this. Even if it's bad and toxic, we know what to expect. So we still gravitate to what's familiar. And so stepping into an unfamiliar territory can be scary because it requires us to face that uncertainty and embrace change. And so the comfort and familiarity of what we know can be a powerful source. Or whatever. And so even if a situation or a relationship is unhealthy and it's unfulfilling, the routine and the familiarity can create a sense of stability. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you think people stay in relationships for ever and ever, knowing that it's toxic or it no longer serves them or they're no longer happy? Because it's familiar and they know what to expect. So they rather just go through the motions and stay where it's safe at rather than facing the fear of the unknown. And so letting go often involves acknowledging and processing loss. And people don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Our identity is often intertwined with our past experiences, right? And so letting go means releasing a part of our identity. And that is associated with what we are holding on to, if y'all pay attention. Because sometimes from the outside looking in, we be thinking, dang, why won't this person just do this? Or why won't this person just do that? Because they have intertwined who they are with whatever it is that they're attached to. Emotional investments. And so it requires, us to redefine ourselves and find new sources of purpose and meaning when we force ourselves to emotionally detached from people, situations, places, things, or whatever. But letting go when we let go, I should say, we create a space for personal growth and self-discovery, right? And we're doing ourselves a disservice by refusing to let something go. Like the story that I just shared with y'all. I held on for too long for no reason. And I was actually I was choking out my own success and I didn't even realize it. I didn't realize it until I let it go. And so it enables us, to explore new interests, develop new skills and, expand our perspectives, when we pay attention to things like this, right? And so letting go encourages us, to step outside of our comfort zones and embrace opportunities for self-improvement. And it builds resilience, and adaptability. Like it literally teaches us to navigate change and bounce back from setbacks. And so the ability to let go enables us to flow with life's transitions and actually embrace the unpredictability of the journey, right? And when you release attachments, it allows you to reconnect with who you truly are. And that's the part that a lot of us be missing. Like it literally liberates us from society expectations, old patterns, and limiting beliefs because we have finally chosen to let go. So I don't care what your belief is about letting go or what you've convinced yourself of or why you need to hold on to something or a scenario, a person, a relationship, whatever it is you're holding on to. Know this, take this away from my video. Letting go is a courageous and transformative act that requires self-reflection, acceptance, and a willingness to embrace the unknown. And that is what I want y'all to take away from this video. I love y'all and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all have a good rest of your day.